Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Now, Elon Musk, the one and only, the founder of Tesla, the founder of Starlink, said, and you'll see this headline on your screen from Fox Business, that humans should not live longer because as they get old, they become essentially fixed in their ideologies and their thinking. And he said this will essentially asphyxiate society. In other words, rob society of oxygen to grow. In other words, strangle society. He also said that the United States has very ancient leadership and old ideas will not advance society. So this is what Elon Musk said to Matthias Döpfner, who's the CEO of Business Insider's parent company, Axel Springer, in an interview. He said this, that declining birth rates were the single biggest threat to the future of human civilization. But on the other hand, he also said, I don't think we should try to have people live for a really long time. It would cause asphyxiation of society because the truth is most people don't change their mind. They just die. So if they don't die, we will be stuck with old ideas and society would not advance. In fact, Musk said this. For democracy to function properly, he argued that political leadership should ideally be within 10 to 20 years of the average age of the population they govern. On his own humanity, he said he wasn't afraid of death because he said it would come as a relief. He said, I quote, I think we already have quite a serious issue with gerontocracy, which means old people having essentially leadership positions in our country. He said, where the leaders of so many countries are extremely old. In the US, it's a very, very ancient leadership. And it is just impossible to stay in touch with the people if you are many generations older than them. Folks, our president, Joe Biden, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are all well into their 70s and in some cases also into their 80s. In fact, Elon Musk said this. The founders of the USA put minimum ages for a local office, but they did not put maximum ages because they did not expect that people will be living for so long. They should have, because for a democracy to function, the leaders must be reasonably in touch with the bulk of the population. And if you're too young or too old, you can't say that you will be attached. Pretty incredible comments, folks. Let me know whether you agree or disagree with what Elon Musk is saying. And this is very interesting. Now, keep in mind, Elon Musk is worth $260 billion. He has nearly 80 million followers on Twitter, but he said he considers himself a lonely person and he says he is medium happy. He said this, there are times when I'm lonely. I'm sure there are times when everyone is lonely, but it's pretty basic. Say if I'm working on the Starship rocket and I'm just staying in my little house by myself, especially if my dog is not with me, then I feel quite lonely because I'm just in a little house by myself with no dog. Now keep in mind that Elon Musk is single and so therefore he doesn't have anyone to hang out with, at least not, a girlfriend or a spouse or anything. And he also said on matters of climate and sustainability, he argued that it was total madness for Germany to be shutting down its remaining nuclear power stations this year, saying that doing so in the middle of Russia's invasion of Ukraine posed a national security risk. So folks, let me know whether you agree or disagree with Elon Musk's comments about humans not living longer because they would asphyxiate society, and his comments that the United States had very ancient leadership, old ideas which would not advance society. Let me know whether you agree or disagree with his comments, because folks, the fact is a majority of our leaders, again, like I mentioned, President Joe Biden, that's his date of birth on your screen. Check that out. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, check out her date of birth and her age on your screen. The Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, that's his age, and the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, that is his age and his date of birth on your screen. So you can start to see how old these leaders are, and for that matter, how old a majority of individuals in Congress are. I'm talking lawmakers, male and female, and that is the problem with our society today. And that essentially is a gerontocracy, as Elon Musk said. In other words, old individuals in leadership position. Now, I want to be very clear. I have nothing against old individuals. What Elon Musk is talking about is essentially the rate of change, new, innovative, bold thinking. I'm pretty sure that Elon Musk himself thinks that in 20 or 30 years, he's not going to be able to think the way he thinks right now. I can speak for myself. I'm 43 years old. I believe that in 15 or 20 years, I'm not going to be able to make YouTube videos with the kind of frequency and intensity as I do now. Hopefully you'll support me. Hopefully you'll still be watching our channel. But the point is that Elon Musk is saying that as individuals get older, they are less likely to change their mind, and they are not good candidates for leadership. And good candidates for leadership should be within 10 to 20 years of the average age of the population. In other words, if the average age of the population is 45, a good leader should be maybe no more than 65 years old, or maybe as young as 35, 30 years old. And that really is where the future lies as far as leadership is concerned, according to Elon Musk. Now, let me know where you stand with this thought process. Let me know in the comment section below whether individuals should live longer or not. And if they live longer, whether you agree with Elon Musk that their lack of innovative thinking would asphyxiate society. In other words, would strangle society, would rob society of oxygen, of innovative thinking, of leadership that is necessary for us to continue growing. Because one thing is for sure, if we stop changing, we definitely stop growing. We need to be able to change physically, mentally, emotionally in order to continue growing. And I believe that was the underlying thesis of Elon Musk's comments. Let me know whether you agree or disagree. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Take a moment to check out my introductory video. You'll learn how I was able to overcome this cycle of poverty that you see on your screen right now, and how I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. And I want to help you live your American dream. And that is why I work hard on this channel every single day on the Ignition Time channel to tell you more about the country, the economy, as well as our money, and share my perspective. I'm happy you gave me a little bit of your time. Please click the like button. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I want you to know I appreciate you very, very much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. By the way, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.